Welcome to another day of Did That Really Just Happen in Court? We're kicking off with a shocker. Judge Boyd isn't even mincing words. She's sending the defendant straight into custody because, in her words, they are extremely high right in front of the bench. Look at the judge's face. That's the look of someone who's seen it all but is still disappointed. Pro tip: if you're going to court to ask for mercy, maybe don't show up in another dimension. Have you ever seen someone sabotage their own cases fast? Let me know in the comments.
No, with regards to this offense.
What did I do?
Yes.
What do you mean? What did I do?
I mean, so you know you're not dressed appropriately for court, right?
I didn't know that until I got it.
Mhm. The debit, well, I mean, you're saying,
No, I'm saying I understand what you're saying.
Your reset form, you're going to come back here on Monday on October 7th. Do you understand? Sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and the court will, we can go off the record. This is why you're going in custody. You are extremely high today.
And also Haven for Hope Joe outreach, Judge. I don't mind getting in contact with them just to explore these avenues. But the biggest thing, Judge, is I know that she has that.
At least he's saying he was drugged after meeting a female at a bar. That's what you seem shocked. That's what's in the police report. Today is the deputies are going to take you into custody. If there's anything that you want to see, want to give to your boyfriend, just let them.
Yeah.
All right. The court will issue a judge's warrant and remand without bond if the attorney or defense counsel makes an appearance with their client. The court will reconsider. Time she had a warrant, and counsel, you're on this side. So, Deputy Laura, does she have a warrant or no?
No, Judge. She was in custody, and when she retained me, and she has since bonded out.
Okay. All right. So, have you received all the discovery?
We haven't, Judge. We're in agreement with the state on a 30-day reset. They need to give us some discovery as to restitution and additional information in regards to the vehicle and from the UUV.
So, Judge, the defense brought it to our attention. There was a case where the vehicle in question was involved at a later date. What I'm going to do is link up the e-discovery in that case and sync it up to this one to where it should all transfer over the next couple of days. We're also reaching out to the complainant in regards to restitution. They did give us a prior figure, but it's one that I just had a few questions for them on.
All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, give them a 40-day reset. Understand you're charged with the offense of unauthorized use of a vehicle. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine.
Yes.
If you have anything you wish to say on behalf of your client.
Now we got Janelle Garza. Her attorney is painting a picture of a reformed woman, clean, employed, and a different person. It sounds like a success story, right? A drug addict who turned it all around on her own. But hold that thought, because Judge Boyd is about to drop a massive reality check. In law, rehabilitation is a great defense, but only the facts on the ground actually match the story being told. Is Janelle actually a success story, or is this just a really good script from her lawyer?
Yes, Judge. Ms. Garza, at the time of the offense, had been a drug addict for several years. When she was arrested, it was her first felony arrest, and it scared her. It scared her enough to get clean and to get a job. Since May 10th of this year, she's been clean. She did it on her own without going to rehab because she couldn't afford to go to rehab. And she's been clean for over 6 months. She has reconciled with her mother, and she's been employed since June of this year. She is a different person than the person that committed this offense because she understood and is willing to take responsibility for exactly what happened and wants to move forward with her life. She understood a change was necessary. And I think the person that you see today is a different person than the person that committed this offense. So we would request that you place her on deferred adjudication because of that for the 2-year period and just follow the state's recommendation. Judge.
And what did you do?
Like,
No, with regards to this offense.
what did I do?
Yes.
What do you mean? What did I do?
I mean, you're here for unauthorized use of a vehicle. So what did you do?
I took someone's vehicle without their permission.
All right, because the police report is saying, at least he's saying he was drugged after meeting a female at a bar.
Wait for it. The shock face. The judge just revealed that the police report alleges the victim was drugged before his car and debit card were stolen. Janelle claims she didn't read that exact part. Sure. And then comes a smoking gun. The victim's multicolored debit card was found right inside her purse. That is what we call a legal nightmare. How you explain away a stolen card in your own bag? Wrong answers only.
That's what you seem shocked. That's what's in the police report. Have you read it?
I went over it. It's just,
Yes.
I didn't read that exact part.
Oh, yeah, it
said that
says-
he was drugged, but I understand.
So was he drugged?
No.
And then he said his debit card was taken without his permission as well.
I did not take his debit card.
Well, they found it in your purse. That's what the police report says. Because it says right here.
I don't
Victim-
remember them saying anything about that, and I
No.
don't remember having the debit card or anything.
It says, according to the original case number, victim had been drugged after meeting a female at the bar. Victim allowed the female to take him home in his vehicle. After waking up, he discovered his vehicle was gone with the keys, cell phones, and multicolored debit card. He found out later in the day his debit card had been used at a local gas station. The stolen vehicle, which is what we're here today, was found today, had the keys in the ignition, and had no signs of tampering in the steering column. Victim stated he never gave any consent to take or use his vehicle and wanted to process with charges. Victim gave us consent to process and search the vehicle. While searching the vehicle, victim's debit card was found inside her purse. So they're saying they found his debit card inside your purse.
Mhm.
You're saying,
No, I'm saying I understand what you're saying. I don't recall them ever saying that, or them telling me that, or of them ever saying that they found a debit card in the purse. If they did,
yeah, that's what they say right here.
I understand. I just don't recall them ever telling me that personally, or them ever bringing.
Well,
that up
wait a
to
second. This is what the police report says. The debit card was a multicolored debit bank card. I also found a gray camouflage bag in the trunk with some work gear and victim's work identification card. Suspect, that's you, was advised of her rights and asked why victim's debit card was in her purse. Suspect said she found it in the vehicle and thought it belonged to her friend. The bag in the trunk, she said, was already there. She said she didn't know the vehicle was stolen. So the debit card was found in your purse. When you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll be clean.
All right, so we'll do a drug test today, then I'll come back with sentencing.
The moment of truth. After all that praise about being clean, Janelle admits she used marijuana yesterday. The judge is visibly over it. Legal tip. Sobriety isn't a sliding scale in the eyes of court. You can be sober from meth, but active with weed and expect a gold star. The judge just shut down her career as a nanny, too. Because a nanny on felony probation who isn't clean is a huge liability. Do you think the judge is being too harsh? Or is this the wake-up call Janelle needs?
So when's the last time you used marijuana?
Yesterday.
All right, so what your attorney was singing your praises about how you've gotten your life together and you did it all on your own. So why are you using marijuana?
Well, I guess I should say I got my life together. I used to use meth for 5 years.
I'm sorry, what?
I used to use meth and
Yeah.
amphetamine for 5 years. That's what I've been clean for the last 6 months.
But marijuana is illegal here in Texas. So why are you using marijuana?
It just helps me with my anxiety. That's basically it.
All right. But as a part of the program
I
and
would
taking
know.
responsibility,
Yes,
when
ma'am.
your attorney was singing your praises, talking about how you clean and sober, you
Yes.
know that sobriety does not mean that you're using marijuana. You should have stopped her and said, wait a minute. Let me tell you something. But you didn't. You waited till you got caught.
I mean,
You did.
that's your opinion, yes. And
No, that's true. Let me ask you this. Did you interrupt your attorney and tell her, I'm not clean and sober because I'm using marijuana? That's yes or no. Did you tell her that?
I told her that I was using marijuana, yes.
When you were before the bench.
But because I just feel like there's different types of sobriety. For me, the meth use was really bad. So,
Wow.
and I couldn't carry a job for the last 5 years. And in the last 6 months that I have been sober from methamphetamines, I have been able to get a job and get a car and see my daughter every day and be a mom and be present.
You're not allowed to use marijuana while you're on probation.
I understand that, and I understand that I would not be able to use it, and I won't use it.
But do you understand you're not clean and sober?
Yes, and
So what do you do for a living?
I'm a nanny.
Oh, not anymore. I don't allow people on felony probation to be nannies, to be home health care providers, and especially someone who's not clean and sober. And who are you a nanny to? Is this a relative or somebody?
Yes,
Sister, cousin, who is it? All right. So that job is over with today. You understand?
yes.
So how far did you go in school?
I went all the way through high school. I graduated, and I went through some trade school. I had my medical assistant. I went through medical assistant school. I finished that.
And where are your children?
Right now, she's at school.
And how old? Do you only have one
I only
child?
have one. She's 14.
And does she live with you?
Yes, and my mom and my grandparents and my other family.
When you say your mom, your grandparents, and other family, what is other family?
My aunt, my other aunt. There's a whole bunch of us that live at my grandma's house.
All right. This is what the court is going to do. Are there any other questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right. There's a $500 fine that will be probated. 3 years deferred adjudication. Court is calling 2024 CR 011954 State versus Dora. Dora Bravo. Can I have parties announced?
Megan Galloway for the state.
Michael Bellable from Miss Bravo.
And are you Miss Bravo?
That's fine.
I'm going to need you to keep your voice up one so that I can hear and so the court
Yes,
reporter
ma'am.
can hear. Thank you.
Mhm.
All right, thank you. Counsel, have you received all discovery in this case and did you review it with your client?
Yes.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Bravo, did you review the application for deferred adjudication with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, probation, there's an application in this case. Ms. Bravo, did you review the true bill of indictment?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
Yes, we do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Bravo, did you review court admonishments with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Your charge is possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, less than 1 gram. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
You have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent. By entering that plea, you are giving up those rights. Did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea in this case?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand if the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe she has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against her?
I believe she does.
Do you believe she's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
Yes.
Ms. Bravo, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, ma'am.
Anyone promised you anything other than the plea?
No.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived her right to jury trial. Did you review the plea bargain page with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Ma'am.
According to the plea bargain agreement, punishment is to be assessed at an $800 fine. State recommends community supervision, deferred adjudication. They're taking in consideration 2025 AL 005470. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Defense?
Yes.
State?
It is Your Honor.
Did you review the waiver of appeal paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in both places?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
No, ma'am.
Outside the agreement, the state is recommending that your community supervision be for a term of 2 years. There be a TAP evaluation, community service restitution hours, no contact with Roberto Avalos Jr. and J.C. Penney stores, the life skills course, and the anti-theft course. Did you understand those are recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? State any evidence?
State offers states one in attachments.
No objection.
All right, state, you may be excused. Did you review the waiver and stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Sure.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there'll be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. Sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes,
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
we just asked the court follow the recommendation from the state.
All right. Are you employed?
Um,
How do you support yourself?
my boyfriend,
Who's your boyfriend?
Pedro
Pedro who?
Diaz.
And what happened to Roberto Avalos?
What do you mean? What happened to him?
I mean, you were in a car with him. Is he no longer in your life?
No, he's incarcerated, but nobody stated that I was dating him. I was just getting a ride from him, ma'am.
All right. Did you know him before you accepted a ride from him?
Yes, I did.
All right. And how did you know him?
Friend of family.
Do you have any children?
I do.
What are their ages?
He is 15.
And who is the 15-year-old with?
He is with his uncle and his guardian.
And when you're drug tested today, what are you going to be positive for?
Maryland.
And what else? Now, that's not just about it. Do you want to get drug tested today? So here's the thing. I'm trying to set conditions for you so you'll be successful in probation. In order for me to do that, you need to be honest with me. All right? So if you use before coming to court, that's not a violation of your probation because you were not on probation. So what are you going to be positive for?
Drugs.
Well, I wasn't with you. So what type of drugs?
We've moved on to Dora Bravo, and the honesty is getting, well, too real. Judge Boyd gives her a chance to be truthful before the drug test. And Dora admits she used meth just 24 hours ago. Talk about a dramatic reveal. The judge decides right then and there. Dora is going into custody because she's extremely high today. It's a recurring theme today. Folks, Judge Boyd is basically a human drug detector at this point. If you were the judge, would you let her walk out or lock her up for her own safety?
The kind that for methamphetamines.
All right. So when's the last time you used meth?
It was 24 hours ago.
Okay. Do you have any family support?
Yes. Concerned fit. Yes.
All right. Who's supporting you as far as someone you can go to help you maintain your sobriety?
My brother.
Your brother?
My oldest brother.
Okay. When's the first time you started using?
In 2017.
Okay. All right. This is what the court is going to do. There's going to be an $800 fine that will be probated. 3 years deferred adjudication. Proof of employment within 30 days of release. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's to be no residing with minors. Take in consideration 2025 AL 005470. There's going to be 100 hours of community service restitution. Once parenting is completed, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no contact with Roberto Avalos Jr. No contact with J.C. Penney stores. Counsel, I'm not going to do the anti-theft course because I think the theft course is related to the drug issues. And I think if that problem is solved, then there'll be no need for the other. But I am going to recommend the life skills course. There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs. In custody, there's to be a TAP evaluation, follow recommendations, and also a referral to felony drug court. Probation is, and field visits, one time per month for 6 months. Probation, is there anything else? All right, did you review the trial court certification of defendants' rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. We can go off the record. This is why you're going in custody. You are extremely high today. And if I allow you to walk out of here, what's going to end up happening is you're going to use more meth.
No.
And who knows what will end up happening. You may get some bad drugs.
Why couldn't you give me the benefit of the doubt? I just got out on bond. I'm trying to change. I'm doing what
I know this is going to help you. All right. Thank you.
How long am I going to be gone?
Thank you, counsel. It's to help her.
I understand.
And they should be, a felony drug court will probably be able to see her before the week is out.
Okay.
All right.
So she'll be in until the referral is over?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Thank
I'll
you.
explain that to her.
Okay. No problem. All right. Here's my question. What has she done on probation?
She never came out of custody, Your Honor. So she took the plea back in June, and they recommended SATF, which she didn't agree to.
Okay.
So she's been in custody for the whole time.
All right. So I'm not going to follow this agreement. There are rules and regulations that you have to follow for probation. Otherwise, you're not on probation. You're just doing your thing and telling people what you would not do. Your conditions of probation were parenting classes, which tells me.
I signed up for parenting while I did.
No. So here's the thing. You were supposed to be going to SATF because obviously you have a drug or alcohol problem. If you did not, they would not have recommended that. So I'm sorry, what?
It wasn't on the paperwork that it was given to me.
No, they told you that you're supposed to be going to SATF.
She's saying for your evaluation, not for your original plea.
Because according to the conditions that I gave you, I said that you were not to have any contact with Roberto Avalos, J.C. Penney stores, and that you're to complete the TAP evaluation while in custody, follow TAP recommendations. There was a referral to felony drug court, and you decided you don't want to do that. And now you feel as though you're entitled to an agreement where you just do Bexar County jail time. It's not going to happen because you didn't follow the conditions that the court set for you.
If I may, Your Honor?
Yes.
She doesn't have any felony convictions at this time. She was willing to take the conviction in order to not waste anybody's time. She just doesn't think so that she'll be successful on the probation, and so she's asking for the full plea.
All right. Well, what I can tell you, part of my issue is, not issues, part of my duties is to protecting the community. And for me to say that you were to do parenting classes, that means that you have a child. Otherwise, I wouldn't have recommended parenting classes.
She doesn't have custody of him at this time.
Yeah, see, that's the problem. The at this time part, that's the problem. So what would end up happening is you would go to jail, you would do your 124 days or whatever it is. The jail would give you 3 for 1, and you probably have a judgment satisfied, or they give you 2 for 1. You probably have a judgment satisfied. You would walk out, go do your drugs or whatever, and then go pick up your child from wherever he is.
We're closing with the ultimate choose your own adventure. Legal edition. The judge is tired of the excuses. She gives the defendant 2 choices: inpatient drug treatment or 2 years in a state jail facility. No more Bexar County jail time. Hacks. This is a massive power move by the court to force a change. It's about protecting the community and the defendant's own child. Which would you pick? 2 years of freedom behind bars, or the hard road to recovery and treatment. That's it for this session. Hit that subscribe button for more courtroom chaos.
So these are your two choices, and these are your only choices. Either you're going into inpatient treatment, or either you're getting 2 years at the state jail facility. Which do you prefer? All right. So the court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to include SATIF, and upon release from SATIF, there's to be no unsupervised contact with or residing with minors. And that will be revisited once she completes her parenting classes. And probation, was she not eligible for felony drug court?
Oh, let me double.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court? All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge, we're asking for the extension of the 1 year as well, but instead of SafeP, we're asking for some form of supportive outpatient treatment. Since Ms. Huerta Hernandez was released, she's been doing almost daily NA meetings online. She's been checking in with Ms. Lanier, her pretrial supervision officer, which I have an email from her in Defendants Exhibit 1 that she's been in full compliance, no violations on her GPS.
Any objection to?
Chance to review it. I have no objection.
All right. I'll review that.
And the MTR alleges drug use in February, but there have been no positive tests since then. I do intend to call Mr. Mike Hernandez, her fiance, and Ms. Hernandez herself to explain the non-reporting. I urge the court, if they're between making a decision between SafeP and what I'm asking for, which is a supportive outpatient program, that they send Ms. Huerta Hernandez for drug testing. I do believe she's going to come up negative. And I do believe that I'm going to put on some evidence.
So why hasn't she been reporting?
Judge, it seems like around the time that she stopped reporting in March, she was dealing with some homelessness. And she recently connected with her fiance, and she's now living with him, which was not a circumstance back when she stopped reporting. He's been keeping her on track, helping her to get clean, helping her to look for employment. She has been a victim of abusive relationships in the past, which have caused complete destruction for her. She's lost custody of her children. It's caused drug use. It's led to a diagnosis of bipolar disorder and depression. And so at this point, I think she is in the best position with the support of her fiance, with the support of her fiance's mother, who have been waiting here all day for her. And I think she's just right on track, Your Honor, to not relapse again. She's been doing everything she's supposed to do. She also has some medical disorders that I think are going to cause a problem for her if she had to go back into detention. She has a little eye infection, if the court could take notice of. She has a cut eye that I think she needs to get treated pretty soon, and she has asthma that she said was very difficult for her when she was in SATIF. And Your Honor, I think just the circumstances for her right now are going to be optimal for her to succeed and not relapse. She has no criminal history besides this case. So at this point, I'm asking you, add conditions, weekly UAs, random UAs, zero tolerance, can keep her on GPS. She would like to look for work as a housekeeper at this point to help contribute to the household and get some visits back in. She has ordered supervised visits through Guardian House right now with her 16-year-old. So she really just wants to get her life back together and get back on track.
I'm sorry, what did you say about her and the 16-year-old?
She's supervised visits at Guardian House right now. They cost quite a bit of money though, so she will have to work to try to get those visits in. But that's my understanding from what she tells me is going on with that minor child. She does have older children as well. They're adults. They were here at the last setting, but as far as just the minor, she really has to rebuild that back up because her past relationships have really caused havoc in her life
Okay.
and have led to these behaviors.
And state.
Judge, I am in agreement. This is her first MTR. She doesn't have any additional criminal history other than this. However, she has had some issues reporting, and I just think she needs a more structured environment to really help her if she's really serious about getting clean. She did complete status, but did struggle in aftercare, and then just kind of falls off the grid, absconded from the jurisdiction of the court. And there haven't been any positives because she hasn't submitted to UA. And so that's why I'm asking for what I'm asking for, Your Honor.
And Judge, I meant to tender Defendants Exhibit 2 also, which is the verification that she's been attending the NA meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Mission and published to the court.
Yes. Okay. If you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right, you're going to go do a drug test today. Bashan, she's going to go do a drug test with felony drug court. So if you could have her go, and I'm going to send you some information of who to contact, and they're going to want a photo ID. So if someone can, do you have a photo ID?
I don't.
Oh, they can take a photo, somebody take a picture of her and give it to them. Just send it. All right, we're going to come back with this. And she's in custody because she's late, correct? And you're on GPS and you're late. Why were you late?
There was a long line outside, Your Honor. To get in on the courthouse, I was
All right,
here.
so deputy, what we'll do is we're going to release her so she can go and do her UA. All right?
Judge, will she be brought back here today? So should I just go ahead and
Oh,
wait?
no. Yes, wait. She's going to go straight over there and she's going to come straight back. Her fiance is here. I'm sure he can drive her.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm sorry, but her counsel, I should wait, right?
Yes.
For her to come back. Okay.
And if you speak to Miss Abrams, she'll tell you where you need to go. You entered a plea to violation of condition number 4. You entered a plea of true. The court ordered a UA, and you informed the court that you would be negative. I'm sorry.
Want to be back, and I already to me. And I said, you need these. I do want to change. I am changing. I have changed. People have placed the things. I do have support now, family support, and nobody knew. I don't think about me, and I'm sorry for lying. I do want to change, but I thought I have. And I want to be in my daughter's life.
All right. All right. Is there anything else from the state or the defense?
Nothing.
All right. You've been missing for many months. That's what your plea of true was. I was informed that you were going to be clean, that you've been doing great work, but you were not clean. The court is going to grant the motion. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will revoke, request the therapeutic community. How much time are you asking for, state? Defense, what are you asking for? All right. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served, and the court will retain jurisdiction. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right. You do have a limited right to appeal. That right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you are on deferred adjudication. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you need to speak to an attorney. Do you understand? All right, we can go off the record. Good luck to you. I will tell you in this court, with regards to drug use, honesty is always the best policy. All right, good luck to you. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, so you know you're not dressed appropriately for court, right?
I didn't know that until I got here.
All right, so next time you appear in court, you're not allowed to wear the T-straps. If you want to wear that, I know it's hot outside. You'll need to put on a jacket or something. You understand? All right. Court is calling 2024 CR 1728, State of Texas versus Angel Marie Bustos. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett, Your Honor.
Defense?
Ninfa Gallegos Carrillo.
All right. And are you Miss Bustos?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams? That's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
If
Your Honor, I would like to ask the court to some assistance with the fine. The state has already lowered the fine, so she can,
I'll probate the fine.
okay, thank you, Your Honor. And also, she needs some help with drugs, Your Honor.
All right. Do you have any children?
I did, I got 2 of them that are already old enough, 18 and 19, and then my 2 youngest passed away, so no.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
All right. When's the last time you had employment?
2019. I'm actually applied for disability.
All right. And what is your disability for?
I have mental illness.
And what-
Arthritis, 3 types of arthritis and the mental illness.
All right. You know, drugs is not helping that, right?
Yeah, I know. I've been try getting off. The withdrawals hurt really bad. I'm tired of it. I really am. I do it only just because of the pain, but I'm trying to get off of it. I do need help.
All right. So who is Melissa Marie Barrera to you?
That's my cousin's baby mama.
Okay. I have to do the mental gymnastics. And who is Mark Anthony Bustos?
My cousin.
All right. And who is the person you're with in court today?
Oh, that's my boyfriend.
All right. Where is he?
Right there.
All right. All right. Thank you. All right. And do you have any family support?
Just him.
Where's your family?
My mom died, my dad died, pretty much everyone passed away. I have my brothers, but one's in prison, the other one I don't talk to. So he's my family.
So that's why we're asking the court for some assistance, Your Honor. She needs some support from this court in order to help her with that addiction.
All right. This is what the court, and if you're drug tested today, it's going to be
It
positive.
can be positive, man.
All right. I appreciate your honesty. Now, I'm going to give you help today, and I know you're probably going to get upset with me about the help that I'm going to give you, but I'm trying to save your life because the last time you use may be the last time you use.
Okay.
So I'm going to do $1,000 fine. It's going to be probated. I'm going to give you 6 years deferred adjudication, proof of employment, or SSI within 30 days. There should be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There should be no unsupervised contact with minors. There's going to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. We're going to do the UA hotline, going to do a TAP evaluation, felony drug court referral, and Esperanza court referral. That's going to take place in custody. I'm going to ask for 120 sober meetings in 120 days. There should be no contact with Melissa. Going to want field visits 1 time per month and 200 hours of community service restitution. Probation, is there anything else she needs? No. We'll do felony drug court first. And if she's not accepted there, which if you're honest with them, they'll accept you.
Okay.
And then if she's not accepted there, we'll do Esperanza court. All right.
Nothing further.
All right. Is there anything else you need from the court?
No.
All right. To be success, we're off the record. To be successful in this court, you need to make sure that you're in contact with probation. If you feel it as though probation is not addressing an issue with you, you can always come in this court. We'll be here.
Okay.
All right. The other thing is felony drug court is a good program. It's something that you need. You're probably going to need inpatient treatment. But if you are accepted to felony drug court will be monitoring your situation. And they have a judge there, and that judge is Judge Glenn. He'll be monitoring how you're doing.
Mhm.
The only time I will see you is if you're graduating, and I'll show up to your graduation, or if they send you back here because they say there's nothing else that they can do.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
And if you want me to show up at your graduation, I will definitely show up to your graduation. Okay.
Thank you.
So what's going to happen today is the deputies are going to take you into custody. If there's anything that you want to see, want to give to your boyfriend, just let them know.
How long is it gonna be, Your Honor?
Yeah.
Because one, you already admitted that you're on heroin. That's not a good thing because the last time you use could be the last time you use.
Okay.
And because here's the thing, if you could have, you would have came in the court, at least came in the court sober. So what will end up happening is felony drug court, it's Tuesday. They'll probably be able to get to see her because I'm going to sign the order immediately for them to interview you. So they'll probably be able to see you before this week is out, and you need to let them know that you're interested in being in their program, and then they will take over supervision. If they think you need inpatient treatment, they'll give you inpatient treatment. If they think you need outpatient treatment, they'll give you outpatient treatment. Okay? So you're not going to be there for a month before something happens. So at the latest, felony drug court may interview her next week, but since it's early in the week, they'll probably be able to interview her. And I'm going to send them an email if you have no objections to let them know that
No,
she's
yeah.
on her way.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
CR 011808, State versus Teresa Luisa Frias. Could I have parties announce state defense?
Renee Munoz.
And are you Miss Frias?
Yeah.
How do you pronounce your last name?
Frias.
Frias. I'm trying to roll the R.
Yes, Judge.
If you all don't help me with that, I can never improve.
Yes.
Counsel, have you received all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, that's correct.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with you're charged with unauthorized use of a vehicle. That's a state jail felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to $10,000 fine. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
After reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you apply for deferred adjudication. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
We're asking that the court follow the negotiated plea bargain agreement. My client does have financial issues. She's not working right now, but is actively seeking employment. The last place she tried to apply to was McDonald's. So she's waiting to hear back from them, Judge. So we're requesting that the fine be probated and if the court is able to impose minimum supervision fees with regard to the monthly fees of supervision. I know the court referenced the offense report. I had some concerns if my client had any kind of issues with drug, alcohol. She stated that she does not. I know that there was some paraphernalia found in the vehicle that did not belong to her. And there was such little amounts in there that they couldn't even get an amount to test, which is why there is no actual possession of controlled substance charge. She stated to me, referencing the case, that upon having the vehicle, she did pick up some acquaintances at a nearby hotel, dropped them off, and then she was subsequently stopped by law enforcement police officers. She noticed there was a pipe on the seat next to her, and she was scared that they might try to attribute that to her. So she hit it, and it's my understanding it fell out during the police encounter with her, Your Honor. So she doesn't have any issues with methamphetamine, the like. She did state that she had used marijuana in the past, but that's been a number of months ago, that if she was drug tested, the results would be negative. So we're asking the court follow the negotiated agreement, Your Honor, with obviously whatever conditions of supervision the court sees fit. But just wanted to give the court that background regarding her financials and the issues regarding potential drug use.
All right. When's the last time you used?
About 8 months.
What were you using?
Marijuana. And it wasn't big, it was just here and there. Smoking
So
weed.
when you're drug tested today, I'm going to have you drug tested today. What are the results going to be?
Negative.
All right. Do you need any water?
Yeah,
Because you're getting drug tested today.
we bought them.
Okay. All right. So here's the thing. At the end of the day, whether or not you used today or last night, it's not a violation of your probation because you're not on probation yet. Otherwise, I'm going to send you to do a UA. And if that UA comes back positive, we're going to have some questions.
Okay.
So you want your UA?
Yeah.
All right. Miss Abrams, she's going to have a UA. Felony drug court will do your UA. And do you have a driver's license?
I don't.
Just 1 second. Do you have a form of ID?
I have just the Bexar County.
Oh, that's good enough.
Okay.
Right, counsel.
Yes, Your Honor.
We're going to get a UA from her today.
Okay.
And then we will come back with the sentencing.
At a different dates
Oh, no, we can come back this afternoon
this afternoon. Okay, great.
if you're available. Let me see.
Yes, Your Honor. Do you have any?
I have an interview at 3.
A what?
Interview at 3.
My client has an interview for a potential job at 3:00,
Yeah.
Your Honor.
Oh, well, if you go over there right now, they'll do it right now.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Work on getting that.
So Miss Abrams, they said they'll do her UA right now. And counsel, she's going to felony drug court for that UA, not somewhere else.
Is that where the reentry center is located, Judge?
Yes, and if you'll, and Miss Abrams, I have the information for her.
Okay.
All right?
Yes, Your Honor. And then we will come back in the afternoon, correct, Judge?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. All right, Christopher Bernal. So counsel, did you receive the report from felony drug court?
I had not, Your Honor. I just had received word that there may have been a positive, but
Well, I think, and we'll go on the record in just a moment.
Okay.
But I think that, could you hand me that printout, please? Mhm.
thank you, Your Honor.
All right, so we're going to go on the record in 2024 CR 011808, State versus Teresa Frias. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
For the defense, Renee Munoz, Your Honor.
And are you Miss Frias? All right, so the court received the report back from felony drug court. Counsel, I think that felony drug court will be appropriate for her.
I agree with Your Honor with that assessment, to see if she can be evaluated and meets criteria for that. I know that my clients have experienced trauma in the not so distant past, in terms of being a victim on an aggravated assault with some pretty substantial gunshot wounds, and she's been out in the community, and I explained the situation with the positives, and that it's addiction is sometimes steps you have to work through, but that the court will likely be recommending that felony drug court. And I was telling her about the program, explaining to her, it'd be some years of probation, monitoring, and treatment as they deem necessary. So we're perfectly fine if the court wants to make that referral, Judge. Due to some of the overcrowding issues at the jail, we wanted to see if she could report on outside in the community to see about the evaluations she's been making in support here as ordered. She hasn't picked up anything new.
Oh, and can I have the that printout again?
Oh, yes, sure. Thank you. To address her substance use issues.
All right. So do you live by yourself or there are other people in the home?
I live with. I live with.
All right. And, I'm sorry. Can you raise your right hand for me? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right. You can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
There's Chris.
All right. Are there any minors in the home?
I have a 16-year-old.
All right. And how many children do you have total?
I have 6 total, but I just have the 6.
All right.
She
And
doesn't
I'm sorry?
She doesn't have. Like
She's what?
split with me and then with dad. So I get like 2-3 days. She'll be with him. The rest back and forth.
All right. And who is your support system?
My boyfriend
Mhm.
and my, I guess, in-law.
And so do you live with your boyfriend and in-laws? All right. And how long have you been living with them?
I say 8 months because I just got out. I don't know if it counts, but the jail time.
Okay.
I was in there for 6 months.
And I will tell you, and your counsel will tell you, I require that probation does field visits. So if you're going to be staying there, probation is going to come in and do field visits. And if they don't want probation doing field visits at their house, then you're not going to be allowed to stay there. You understand? All right. And you all recommended deferred, but neither of you all put down outside the agreement what length you are requesting. So it's
2 years.
Mhm.
That's our understanding, Your Honor.
all right. So what I can tell you is I'm going to give you more than the 2 years. The reason being is because drug court is a 2-year program. And sometimes, well, not sometimes, they have a 2-year program and the aftercare program is 6 months. Now, whether you're in that program for the full time really is dependent upon you and how you do in the program. You understand?
Yes.
All right. So the court is going to sentence you to 3 years deferred adjudication, regular reporting by Zoom or in person, regular random UAs, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors, field visits 1 time per month until further notice. There should be a referral to felony drug court. How far did you go in school?
I graduated.
All right. So what are you planning on doing with the rest of your life? What is, before all of this happened?
I was gonna manage it. I love managing.
All right. Managing what?
Well, I've always worked at Wendy's. I was at Wendy's for 9 years.
All right. So that's what you want to do? All right. And you know what I always tell people, whatever your dream is, that's your dream. We need people, we need managers. If somebody comes to me and say they want to be a farmer, I'm like, yes, we need farmers. So every place where you see people working, we need those people. So I always tell everybody, no matter what your job is, sometimes we think our job is not important and oh my gosh, what have I been doing with my life? But that job is needed. For example, people will say, oh, that person just bags the groceries at HEB or that person's just a cashier. And I always tell them, don't say just, because we need a cashier. We need somebody to bag groceries. We need all of that. I'm still upset that they took away the full service at the gas station, but that's just me. All right. So I'm going to give you 200 hours of community service restitution. 100 of those hours will be deemed satisfied once you complete parenting classes, and another 100 hours will be satisfied if you complete some type of trade school or higher level education. And what I can tell you, some places that you work for, even at McDonald's, they will actually pay for part of your college education or pay for your school. And if you want to really move up quickly in the system, you know, try to go to a trade school and get something in business management or something that will make you indispensable to the company. Because you see at all of these stores where they have now self-checkout, I always tell people that's a sign. You need to pay attention to that. So can you imagine now you have about 8 self-checkouts in one general area, and they just have one person who works for the company stand there to make sure everybody's scanning things appropriately. Pretty soon, they're not even going to have that person. So that means all those cashiers' jobs are going to be eliminated. So pay attention to, as Briscoe County Junior would say, the coming things, so you can be ready for it. All right.
Definitely good advice.
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. I'm going to ask for 90 sober meetings in 90 days.
Yes, if you need anything else, that's fine.
Oh, no, thank you. I appreciate it.
All right. And did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendants' Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. Here's the thing. I know that life gets hard for people. I know that sometimes we get into relationships and we're like, we wake up and we say to ourselves, how did we get here? But if we are in relationships that are not good for us, best bet is to get out of that. With regards to drug use, let me explain to you. And I tell this to a lot of people. Sometimes they don't believe me, but you see the news. You'll be able to see if I'm telling the truth or not. There are only 2 things going to happen from using illegal drugs, and sometimes using prescribed drugs. Either you're going to end up in somebody's jail on a regular basis, rotation, or either you're going to end up in prison. Because at the end of the day, possession cases, possession less than a gram, possession 1 to 4, you know, the difference between you and the other person who doesn't get a possession charge. The person who doesn't get a possession charge has used the drug before they are caught, right? So either you're going to end up in jail because you're going to get caught, or either somebody's going to have to identify your body in some field somewhere. And I don't think you want them having to go to your 16-year-old to identify your body. And it will start with, she's missing. We haven't seen her in a while. And then you know what people will say and what the police will say? They would say, but look at her history. Maybe she's just on a bender, right? And then 2 weeks going to pass by. Then popping up on Facebook is going to be your photo, and everybody's going to say, will you please share this? Then the police or some jogger or whoever it is going to find a body in a field somewhere where they're out fishing, or either find a body, on the sidewalk. And then they're going to say, oh, we think it's her. And then they're going to have a relative or somebody who knows you come and identify your body. And I don't think you want your 16-year-old to have to do that, or your family members to have to do that. So whenever you're using, I always tell people, do it. Stop doing drugs for yourself. But if you can't stop doing it for yourself, you know what you need to constantly tell yourself? I don't want my relatives to have to identify my body. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in prison. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If there's an issue, talk to your probation officer. If you feel as though probation is not addressing it, you can always come back to court and address it with me. Felony drug court, your attorney will tell you that's a great program, but it's only as great as you make it. You have to take advantage of the services they're offering. You understand?
Yes.
And be honest with them. All right? All right. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you for dressing appropriately for court. All right. So here's the thing about that. I understand that sometimes people are dishonest with the court because there are consequences. In this court, I'm fair, but I have to let people know there are consequences. And anytime I'm asking you questions about things, you've already reached an agreement. And normally it's rare for me not to follow plea agreements. Whenever I tell people that I need to know about you so that I can set conditions that will help you, that's exactly what I'm trying to do. Because the last thing I would want to do to somebody, if they have drug issues, I just send them off into the world and don't even address it, because that's not going to be good for you, because that's why you're here, because you have drug issues. All right. So be honest with me.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. All right. Ms. Hernandez.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So you did not show up yesterday. You had a setting. I'm going to give you a reset form. You're going to come back here on Monday on October 7th. Do you understand?
Like in a few days or something like that?
No, October 7th. That's Monday. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to do it on Monday. I'm going to bring you back here on October 3rd, which is tomorrow. All right. And between now and then, this is what you need to do. There are plenty of places where you can have sober support meetings. They're like AA, NA meetings. Call them up, talk to somebody. You understand? Do you understand?
Ma'am, I don't have a phone to call anybody.
All right. Well, I will tell you what, I will print off where all the AA and NA meetings are located. All right. Just give me a moment. And can I have a reset form for her for Thursday, please? And just one moment. And I will print out places that you can go. And they actually have some places that are right downtown. All right, here's a list of all the places that you can go for help. I just listed places throughout the city. So if you take the VIA bus and you happen to be in a different area of town, there's an AA-NA meeting there. Or if you're just walking downtown near the courthouse, there's an AA meeting for you to do there. You understand? All right. So we're going to see you tomorrow. Be here at 9 o'clock, okay? All right, there you go. Good luck to you, okay?
Thank you.
Calling 2024 CR 6058, State versus Lindsay Hernandez. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garrett.
For the defense?
Renee Munoz.
All right. And are you Miss Hernandez? All right, the bondsman had filed an affidavit to surrender surety. The court signed it. And I believe one of the reasons they requested it because they believed that Ms. Hernandez would not show up for court. She did not show up on October 1st, but she did show up appear on October 2nd. And then, of course, she appeared today. She was a little late, but the court is understanding of that because yesterday we talked about her tardiness and where she was coming from.
Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate that.
All right, so defense is requesting a PR bond. Off the record, we had a discussion with regards to your client's mental health issues. State, do you have any objection to the granting of a PR bond?
No, it's just a question that additional conditions be imposed.
I'm sorry?
Additional conditions be imposed of substance abuse or mental issues be addressed with that PR bond.
All right, so the court will set your PR bond at $1,000, waive fees, and there's going to be a referral to Center for Healthcare Services. And counsel, your client was here yesterday,
Yes, Your Honor.
and there were what appeared to the court to be substance abuse issues as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
So what I'm going to order is I'm going to order regular UAs, waive fees, and I'm going to order outpatient treatment
Yes, Your Honor.
for substance abuse. And I'm going to waive fees. And Ms. Hernandez, do you have a place to live?
I don't know.
All right. So what housing would be available for her? I know Lifetime has just started a women's unit, but I don't think it's officially up and running, but I received an email for them saying that they were expanding.
Okay.
Probation, do you know any housing that will be able to address her substance abuse issues? I know there's Alpha House.
Yes, I was going
Mental.
to just that.
Section.
So Alpha,
Yeah. Judge and, I have another one in mind, but it's slipped my mind the name, if you give me just a moment.
okay.
I also know that Sam Ministries does good things for people that need housing in terms of homelessness. They are able to sometimes provide people the avenue for apartments, things of that nature, transitional living to get them set up on their feet. And also Haven for Hope Joe Outreach Judge. I don't mind getting in contact with them just to explore these avenues. But the biggest thing, Judge, is I know that she has that appointment here with Mental Health Court, that they can put her into contact, make sure she gets in contact with Center for Healthcare Services. And then they have caseworkers there within Mental Health Court, Judge, that have good access to resources too. So I'm strongly encouraging her to make that. I don't know if it could be made as a condition for bond too, that she shall make that appointment next week.
I'll put in a referral to Mental Health Court.
And I have that application, Judge. Speaking of that, if the court could sign, I have that from the
Yes.
caseworker.
And then if you'll speak with Miss Abrams,
Yes, Judge.
and she'll give the location and the name of the facility that can help her with housing. So I'm going to do a referral for housing, and I'll just put referral for housing
Yes, sir.
and a referral to Mental Health Court.
Great. Thank you, Your Honor, so much. Appreciate that.
And if you'll give that to the coordinator.
Yes,
And
sir.
then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset this. I'm going to give it an earlier reset date than I normally would, because I think I need to stay updated with her.
Sure, of course, Your
So
Honor.
we're going to come back. Oh, and state your excuse. We're going to come back on October. Norma, can you put this October 21st? All right, we'll be back on October 21st.
Thank you, Your Honor, and we will definitely keep the court updated. We appreciate it.
All right, and you do look better than you did yesterday.
Thank you.
All right,
Moving in the right direction. Yes, Your Honor.
all right, thank you. All right, we have a violation report.
Yes, sir.
State, have you had a chance to review the violation report on Lindsay Hernandez? Thank you. So how are you doing?
I'm good, miss.
All right, what have you been up to? How's life been treating you?
Just trying to make it and just still going to like the appointments for mental health, and I have an appointment with Social Security in 2 days, and I'm on the list for housing. Pretty much that's about it.
Okay. All right, that's good. I'm glad you're on the list for housing. So do you have a safe place to stay though?
For the meantime, I'm still like back and forth with my mom and whatnot. I haven't went to Hagen for help, but that was just the option.
All right, why are you back and forth with your mom?
She works and stuff like that. I still haven't gained her trust, I guess.
Ah, okay.
Yes,
All right.
I'm working on it.
Well, one of the ways to regain her trust is not to be back and forth. I know that sometimes, and I've had clients before where their parents said they can stay with me, but I can't have them in the home by themselves.
Yeah,
And so I would always tell my client, your trust right now with your family is less than zero. You have to build that back up. So just live with the fact that if they're not in the home, you can't be in the home.
yes, ma'am.
But don't do the back and forth, back and forth. Okay? All right. So here's the issue. The issue is they're saying that you tested positive for meth and they want you in lifetime recovery. And they're saying that you declined.
No, ma'am. I showed up to the appointment. I'm not sure if she hasn't called me. I did leave her a message.
Well, no, it says here, please be advised, the defendant reported for intake with lifetime recovery on January 16, 2025 and met TDI and ASAM level 3.5 placement for treatment services. However, the defendant declined detox during interview.
Detox.
Mm-hmm.
I know that she told me that she was gonna put me like see if I could go to the inpatient or the outpatient. That was the last that I know.
Let me ask you this.
And
This is where trust comes in.
okay.
We're not on the record. This is pretrial services. This is me setting conditions so you can be successful.
Yes.
If I drug test you today,
Yes.
do you want that? Is it going to be clean?
No.
See, and that's the problem with this. They're saying it's not clean. And that's the problem with your mom.
Yeah.
And that's why she doesn't have the trust in you.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you need to be at lifetime recovery.
Yes, ma'am.
And you need to be in their inpatient program.
I'm willing to go.
All right, you, counsel.
It's my understanding, Judge, as per my client, and I have no reason to think otherwise. She's always been wholeheartedly honest that she did the inpatient one, and she was trying to follow up to see the next steps, and she has yet to make that connection to get into the next phase to do potentially inpatient.
All right, we're gonna get you connected. Let's get her connected today.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
I can call Lifetime.
All right. We'll call Lifetime. You're going to remain in court. He's going to call Lifetime Recovery.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.